Hello, welcome back to Coast to Coast. It's episode 2 of our free agency breakdown. We are tackling players number 30 through 21 on our list today, predicting where we think they might go, how much they might sign for. We're just having fun with it. We're seeing our predictions and if they come true. All right, let's jump into it. Number 30, we have Brad Keller. Chris, you weren't a fan of him being maybe this high on our list.
Yeah, I didn't think he should be this high. You kind of convinced me with his history as a starting pitcher. He was a starting pitcher for 4.5 years early on in his career and had quite a bit of success. He hasn't been successful in the bullpen over the past 4 years or so. And he just kind of had a resurgence this year in Chicago, posting a 2.07 ERA in 69 and 2/3 innings. So really solid year out of the bullpen for Brad Keller. Seems like he found something, with being in the bullpen there finally after several years. So I think he's going to get a decent contract. And you kind of convinced me. There have been some talks about maybe him returning to be a starter. Yeah. The Cubs used him in multi-inning situations several times. So it's interesting when you have someone that's a bullpen arm that has the starting pitcher potential. They could get a multi-year deal, and the team could take a swing on him. Kind of like Clay Holmes with the Mets last year. Yep. We signed him to a multi-year deal. So I don't think he'll get a 3-year deal. Okay. But, I think he'll get probably a 2-year deal. I had a hell of a time thinking of where he's going to go. I'm curious who you have him going to.
All right. Well, I'll say it first. Yeah, Brad Keller was a weird one for everything that you just pointed out.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a bullpen guy? I see him as kind of like a Nick Martinez 2.0, a guy that can kind of swing back and forth. He's shown success in both roles, so he could kind of fill those spots when need be. It's a really hard one. It's a shot in the dark here. So I went with the Padres.
Okay.
Reason being is what you were just kind of talking about with Clay Holmes and his transition with the Mets. The Padres have shown success in doing this before. Michael King. So maybe the Padres take a chance on him. Maybe they throw him into the bullpen and use him as a setup man. But I have 3-year, which you didn't like. 3 years, $12 million annually, $36 million overall. $36
$36 a year.
$36 and free hot dogs. $36 million overall. I don't know. I think the Padres could potentially do something with him.
Mm-hmm. I just had no idea where to put him, and since I'm not a fan, it's feeling Angels-y to me. So I got him on a 2-year deal with the Angels for $24 million, overpaying for someone that's going to have a 5 ERA the rest of his career.
I could see it. I was thinking about the Cincinnati Reds too.
Yeah, they're very Redsy, Angelsy.
I was like, he reminds me of Brady Singer so much.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I could definitely see that. But the Reds just have so much young talent with their pitching. I just don't see him going there. I don't know. I tried so hard to think of a team for him, and I don't know. We'll see.
He's never posted under a 4.5 ERA in the years he's been a bullpen arm, aside from last year. So,
yeah,
bit risky.
It is risky. I just think a team I think I would rather take a chance on him than Nick Martinez. If I'm looking at it from who would I rather want the Giants to sign? I think I'd rather have Brad Keller than a Nick Martinez. So I think that's why he's a little bit higher on the list and why I advocated for him is because I just think there is potential there.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
Yeah. So let's take it on to our number 29. We spent a little bit of time on Brad Keller.
A little too much time.
We predicted this before we started recording.
Don't spend 25 minutes on Brad Keller.
We're gonna just talk about Brad Keller. We need to not do that, and we did. So number 29. Let's move on. Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah, this is a tricky one because he's been injured for the past year. He had a good start to his career in the U.S. One of the better defensive shortstops in the league, but really kind of an average or maybe even below average bat. Kind of confusing. He declined a 1-year player option
For $16
with
million.
the Braves for $16 million.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a shock to him when he only gets offered a 2-year deal for $25 million from only a couple teams. I think he still ends up going back to the Braves and feels like kind of an idiot that he declined that 1-year $16 million option. What do you think?
Yeah, I have him going back to the Braves as well. It's weird. It's just a weird scenario where he's in the perfect spot to sign a 1-year prove-it deal because he's been injured so much, because he hasn't shown too much on the offensive side. He had a real opportunity to prove that this year while also getting paid a good amount of money of $16 million from the Braves. But he declined it. So, like you said, I just don't think there's going to be much of a market out there for him. I don't think teams are going to be willing to take a long-term contract with him because of his injury history. Mm-hmm. So Braves sign him, and he ends up, I have him for 2 years, maybe $30 million. So they sign him $15 million per year. Mm-hmm. I think that's the only team that's going to take a shot like that with him. So, and the Braves really liked him. They said they wanted him back. So it seems like it's a match. They just, maybe he wanted an extra year out of it. Don't know.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I like Ha-Seong. He's a great guy and he's a fan favorite in San Diego. I think he's kind of a fan favorite wherever he goes. So fun to watch. All right, moving on to number 28. This is an interesting one.
This is one I didn't like.
You know what? The more I looked into Ryan O'Hearn at 28, the more I did not like that we put him at 28, but it was kind of too late. Yeah. Maybe the recency bias, we thought he, was younger. I mean, that was the really big thing. I thought he was like 27, 28. The dude's what, 31, 32? Going to be 32 in the season?
He's 32.
So that was a bit rough. And with his splits, he's basically a platoon bat. He's not that good at defense. He plays right field or first base, neither well. I don't know. This was a really tough one. Who'd you have him going to? I just realized I didn't even choose anyone for him because I was so distraught with the fact that we put him at 28.
Yeah, I mean, how high can you put a platoon bat? It's hard. So I had him maybe $13 million a year, 3 years, put him till he's age 35. And I just have him signing back with the Padres. Yeah. I think he provided a jolt for that team in the trade. And I think Padre fans really liked him. I don't see the Padres wanting to move on from him. Mm-hmm. And I don't see a lot of teams bending over backwards to try to get him on their team. So I just have him re-signing with the Padres eventually. Like I said, 3 years, $13 million per year, something around that range.
I think that's very likely. The other team, as much as I don't like this, that I was worried. Okay, basically, I think if Pete Alonso does not re-sign with the Mets, I think the Mets are going to kind of try, if they don't trade Vientos, I think they're going to try him out at first, but they're going to bring in another option. And I think Ryan O'Hearn would be a good kind of guy who could play first base. He could play right field if you needed him to. I wouldn't imagine that would happen. And then he could also be at DH. That's not ideal. I think the more likely thing is that he does re-sign with the Padres, especially with a rise in free agency. The Padres are not going to re-sign a rise. So I do agree with you. I think O'Hearn is going to sign, a 2-year, $28 million deal with the Padres.
With the fathers.
With the daddies.
All right. So, a lot of re-signs.
For you.
So let's take it on over to Harrison Bader at number 27. Yeah. Who do you have Harrison Bader signing with this offseason?
This one was tough. I thought about this one way too long. And Bader's tricky because he hasn't been a full-time player with any of the teams that he's played with. Last year with the Twins and then moving over to the Phillies seemed like the most he's played maybe in his career since he was playing with St. Louis, right? He had a really good year last year. He is an elite defender. He has speed. And these are things that are going to earn you a spot on a team any year. Now, I think because of the year he had last year, he's going to get more than 1 year. But I just don't see a lot of teams willing to give him a multi-year deal just because of, the lack of production offensively. However, he showed a lot of pop at the end of last year and throughout the year. He showed a lot of leadership in the clubhouse. He's kind of a personality guy to get the dugout going. He was a really good fit in Philly. And after playing around with a few fun options, I kept landing back in Philly. He fit in so well with that clubhouse. He seemed to like it there. He likes the spotlight. So Philly's a good spot for him. Even if Philly goes out and gets a big bat in free agency, in the outfield, Bader's versatile. You can shift other pieces around. If Philly were to get, say, Tucker or Bellinger, another big outfielder, right? You can shift those guys to the corners. So, I got Harry Bader going back to Philly for 2 years, $30 million.
Yeah, I really liked Bader going back to Philadelphia because, like you said, for all those reasons, and I think they just need defense, especially in that outfield. Yeah. So I don't hate the Phillies re-signing Bader, but I wanted to have him going somewhere a little fun. I have so much re-signs on my list that, gosh, I got to have fun with something. So I have him going to Baltimore to be the Cedric Mullins replacement. Right now, the Orioles were playing Colton Cowser out in center field. He wasn't very good. Neither defensively, he was average, and on the offensive side, he was a disaster. I know they have some young prospects in the outfield, but the Orioles are looking to win now. They want to be back in the picture. Last year, they didn't like it. They want to be back in the playoff talk. They want to be back in the AL East talks about winning the whole division. Harrison Bader, I think, is someone that they may reach out and try to go get. He provides good defense. He provides a little bit of pop, like you were talking about. He just fits the Orioles so well, just blonde-haired white boy out there with the rest of the team. Just seems like that's the Orioles' MO. So I have the Orioles signing Harrison Bader.
I thought about that. I played around with the Orioles idea, so I like that a lot. It's a good fit.
It's a good fit.
It's a really good fit.
It's a good fit.
Yeah.
We'll see if it happens. We'll see if the Phillies are willing to let him walk without giving him a competitive offer, which I think they do.
Mhm.
So I think it's a tough situation, but I like the Orioles, if anybody outside of Philly. I had him for 3 years, $45 million. We had him on the same $15 million year type of deal.
Mhm.
Anything else on Harrison Bader?
No, I just hope he doesn't go to the Mets. It's not the solution for the Mets. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Bring him back.
Cedric Mullins wasn't the solution either.
Bring him back.
Cedric Mullins. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right, moving on to number 26. We have Ty France.
I was like, whoa.
Knew that'd get a reaction.
Yeah.
You met his mom the other day.
So I didn't meet his mom. Someone at my work met his mom.
Oh.
Yeah. I
Ty
just
France.
heard from it. So in connection,
Little stardom over here.
in connection with my coworker, I'm pretty much best friends with Ty France.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
He won the Gold Glove this year.
Yeah, I congratulated him in my dreams. So
Ty France's best friend right here. Number 26. We talked way too much about this, but for right reasons.
Yeah.
We have Trent Grisham. He received a qualifying offer from the Yankees after having a career year this past year. He bashed 34 home runs, didn't hit for great average in the 230s, but he got the qualifying offer. Slightly surprising to a lot of people. And, I mean, first thing that came to my head when he got the qualifying offer was he should take that.
Yeah.
But it's looking like he's actually going to decline it.
Yeah. Yep.
What are your thoughts on this, him potentially declining it? We're recording this the day before players accept most likely decline their qualifying offers.
Yeah.
So you may be watching this when the news is already out, but
who knows? Trent Grisham might have accepted the qualifying offer. We look like idiots here for the next couple minutes, but it is really, really interesting because, per year, I don't think he's going to get $22 million per year.
Or close.
I don't think he's that type of player. And if I'm Trent Grisham and I'm looking for a more secure long-term deal, which could be very smart for him, you got to kind of hate the Yankees because they just killed your market. Because now teams, to sign Trent Grisham, you're not only taking a chance that he's been offensively bad most of his career and just had one good year last year, so you're already taking a risk with signing him. He was always a good defender, but last year he took a major step back and was not good in center field. So there's big risks when it comes to signing Trent Grisham. Mm-hmm. And now you're a team that has to also give up draft picks if you sign him because the Yankees offered him the qualifying offer. So, yes, all signs point to Grisham declining the qualifying offer, but I have him returning back to the Yankees. I just don't think there's going to be much of a market out there for teams willing to give up draft picks and also give him a contract he's looking for. So I have him ending up going back to the Yankees, 4 years, $66 million.
Wow, that's generous.
I do think it's a little generous. After we talked it through, I kind of hated my contract prediction, but
the Yankees are dumb and might do it.
But yeah, I mean, he's looking for that 4-year deal. It's probably the last shot he has at a bigger contract. I mean, unless he has just a great next 4 years, I just don't see it.
I mean, he's just screaming a bad Yankees signing. So, I mean, that would not surprise me if the Yankees did that because it just seems like a classic bad Yankees signing. I'm really, really similar to your prediction. I think he's going to decline it, test the market, realize nobody wants to sign him to a long-term deal. I mean, Trent Grisham, the past 3 seasons before this year, he hit under 200. He's been atrocious offensively. Yeah. So I do think the Yankees will come back and offer him a multi-year deal. I have him going back to the Yankees at 3 years, $45 million, on the rare, case where he declines a qualifying offer and goes back to the team that offered it to him. So, kind of a weird case for Grisham. I'm really interested to see where he goes, though. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's going to be interesting how it plays out.
Yeah.
But talking about qualifying offers, let's jump into number 25 on our list, and that's going to be Gleyber Torres.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy that I had initially higher on my list just because second base is just not good league-wide when you look around the league. But you want them a little bit lower. We kind of settled on 25 for Gleyber. Who do you have him going for? Qualifying offer is on the table for him. Again, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, I think, Gleyber's just consistently slightly above average. I mean, every year. Seems like he's hitting 18 home runs, 75 ribbies, a 265 average. Playing average defense. That's just what Gleyber does.
Yep.
Swiping a couple bags here or there. He's still pretty young. He still has a few years to prove himself. If this year were to, if he were to accept this qualifying offer and it was a disaster, I do think he takes the qualifying offer. I tried to play around with some different places he could go. I think the Giants could express interest in him. He just screams Giants. Let's sign another mediocre infielder to a long-term deal.
Yeah.
But no, $22 million is a lot, and Gleyber was a good fit for Detroit last year. It kind of worked out well. He had a really bad second half, but I mean, seemed like he liked Detroit and Detroit liked him. So I think he's the only person this year that takes a qualifying offer.
Yeah, I agree. I think I had him down as a I had him down as a qualifying offer where he accepts it. I just don't see, similar to Grisham, I don't see a market really out there for teams to take a chance and sacrifice draft picks for that type of player. And what the contract he's going to be looking for is going to be a bigger contract. Yeah, I see him taking the qualifying offer, going back to Detroit. It's a good fit for him. Run it back with that team. Try to put up a good year. I mean, if Torres can follow up these consistent years, it was just a crazy out of nowhere 30, 35 home run season again like he had before in the past. Look, next year we could be sitting here talking about how he's going to sign for $20 million a year for the next 5 years, $100 million contract. He's that close to putting himself over the edge as one of the standout second basemen in this league. But just right now, he's just not that. He's just always slightly above average, maybe good. Mm-hmm. And I just don't see him being worth the contract right now.
Yeah.
So
I also wouldn't be surprised if he got a, 4-year, $75 million deal this year, and he takes it and he locks up a spot in
100%. Yeah. A random team like the A's that they're like, oh yeah, we're going to make Gleyber Torres our highest paid contract ever. I could definitely see that happening.
The Angels.
Yeah, the Angels, the Nationals.
Angels, 5 years, $120 million for Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a dumb team going out and just overpaying like crazy for Gleyber.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me if he does decline the qualifying offer and tests the market.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a qualifying offer. It always has been since its inception. Is just most of the time these players want to test the market. And most of the time, a team out there is going to give them a deal we didn't see coming. So
that's right.
Yeah, or Gleyber Torres going to the Rockies for like a stupid 4-year, $80 million. Dude, that's just, oh, man. Maybe the Rockies.
Oh, my
maybe
God.
maybe I changed my pick for the Rockies.
Sleeping on the Rockies. Watch out, guys.
Yeah.
Rockies. Right there with Chris
I
Bryant.
was just going to say him and Chris Bryant. What a team.
Gleyber and Chris Bryant. Let's go, Rockies.
What a team.
Woo! All right, moving on to number 24. We have JT Realmuto. Oh, reliable. What a career. Congrats to JT. I don't say that very often as a Mets fan, but you really have had a great career.
Yep.
And, pretty simple here. I think Philly's going to give him a 2-year deal. I probably have this a bit low. I have 2 years, $25 million. I'm just kind of confused on the catcher market. It seems like there's never any catchers available in free agency. Maybe that's just because catchers aren't good offensively anymore.
Yeah.
It's probably a bit low, but he's also aging, and aging catchers lose value. So 2 years, $25 million. Going back to Philly, he already knows the rotation there. Philly's trying to win a championship. Give him 2 more years as that window closes in Philly. Yeah. What do you have?
I had the exact same offer.
All right. I love it. I think that's our first one that we've...
2 years, $25 million to return back to the Phillies. He just got off of his huge $15 million contract that he signed 7 years ago, or whatever the case was. He got his money. I think he's 37.
He's 36, 37.
Yeah, for a catcher, it's old. So I just see him, taking the 2-year, $25 million team-friendly deal to come back with the Phillies, finish off his career. I like it for JT. My favorite moment of JT will forever be when they called that reliever in from the bullpen and he came dead sprinting out to the mound, and it showed JT Realmuto just rolling his eyes as this guy is just chugging to the mound. I know he denies that it was because of the guy running, but I don't believe it. I believe JT is just sassy, and I like it.
Your favorite JT moment wasn't him getting the shot put from Orion Kerkering in the division series this year?
Rewatch.
Pointing to first base, just getting shot put over his head.
Realmuto just has a hatred relationship with his relievers. He
loves his starters and hates his relievers.
He just hates his relievers.
I don't blame him. Philly's bullpen's been trashed the past few years.
Yeah, but I don't see JT going anywhere else.
No.
I don't think anybody else would. I think everybody is expecting him fully to be back in Philadelphia next year.
Absolutely.
So, number 23, we got Robert Suarez.
Bobby Suarez.
It's an interesting one.
He's an interesting one.
He's another guy that's kind of, I don't know, do teams sign him to be the closer? I know he led the NL in saves last year, but, his stats weren't that great. So
yeah, he goes on these crazy streaks where he's untouchable for 15 outings, and then he has several bad outings in a row. He's an interesting pitcher. He's a late bloomer. He came to I think he played in Korea early in his career. I may be completely wrong on that. He played overseas. I know that. So he came to the MLB a little bit late in his career. He's a late bloomer. Yeah. We've kind of been doubting him year after year over the past 3-4 years, but he keeps putting up solid seasons. I think, with Mason Miller in San Diego, they're going to go ahead and let him go. Yeah. He's been a fan favorite there. Yeah. One of the cooler closer entrances in baseball. But I have him going to Atlanta because I had Raisel Iglesias signing with Philly. So because of that pick, I have Atlanta having to fill that closer spot. And I don't think Atlanta's going to go after an elite Edwin Diaz. I don't think they're willing to pay for that.
They might go after it.
I wouldn't
know if they sign him, but they might go after it.
Exactly. So I got Suarez 2 years, $28 million in Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I had Iglesias going back to the Braves.
Right.
So I had Robert Suarez going a little bit different. This is another kind of shot in the dark for me.
Rockies.
Diamondbacks. I have them going to the Diamondbacks.
They've had a rough pen.
Their front office is aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I think, a deal they could probably outdeal a lot of other teams. Because when I look at, the Edwin Diaz, that's going to be later on our list. I just don't think, or even Devin Williams a little bit later. I don't think they're willing to go to bat with those other bigger teams. But they go less with Robert Suarez, and they just try to lock up that closer position. Mm-hmm. So I have him 4 years, $56 million, $14 million per year of him going to the Diamondbacks, and they're just looking for a guy to be that closer for the next 4 years. Maybe move Justin Martinez to the setup role. Maybe they play around with it, and they go, hey, whoever's looking better is our closer. The other guy is going to be our setup guy. I don't know. I mean, if Diamondbacks can get someone like Suarez to be their closer, and then you have a Justin Martinez, you have an AJ Puck, it doesn't look too bad. They could have a good bullpen.
I like the idea. I think the contract's too long, but I really like the idea of Suarez going to Arizona.
I went higher on the contract because I thought they would try to outbid other teams. Mm-hmm. And so I think Suarez is 34, so you sign him until he's 38. And other teams might only be offering maybe a 2-year, 3-year deal with him, wanting to get out a little bit early. Diamondbacks kick it out a year. They go, we'll give you 1 more year to come play in Arizona.
Yeah.
So
I thought Suarez was a bit older, like 36. So that if he is 34, that's a big influence. But I do agree with an older closer, if you get a multi-year deal and it's between 2 or 3 years, say, you're going to take the longer contract for sure.
Yeah.
So he might get a multi-year deal over 2 years.
He's about to turn 35.
About to turn 35.
He's about to turn 35.
So, I mean, I'm sticking with my 2-year, but I really like Arizona. I think that's an interesting place. You have the Latino market down there, and he can come in with a badass entrance. I think that's kind of what Arizona's missing. They have a lot of really cool players, guys with swag, but nobody's really stepping up and being like that fun leader of the clubhouse. Like Ketel Marte is kind of a humble guy.
Yeah.
Why not have a closer with a badass entrance and a bunch of swag come in? I like that.
Yeah, I like his fit. And he played in Japan.
Japan, not Korea. Okay.
Japan.
Nice, yeah.
Played in Japan and the Mexican League before the MLB.
So. Knew it was overseas. All right. Shall we move along to number 22?
Number 22. Go for it.
We have Lucas Giolito. Boy, has he had an interesting career.
Yeah.
It seems like he has a fantastic season or a complete blow-up season.
Yeah.
This past year was kind of his first just mediocre season. Solid. Very solid. I shouldn't say mediocre.
Yeah.
But he had, an ERA in the 3.4s. That has not been the case. He seems to either get blown up and have an ERA in the 4s, 5s, even higher, or a really good year like he had a few years with Chicago, the White Sox. So he's a tricky one, but I do think teams see his value and are willing to take a risk on a multi-year deal with him. I don't think anything more than 2 years, probably with an option, which is what he's kind of been doing for the past 3 or 4 years. So unfortunately, I don't think he gets his big bag just quite yet.
Yeah.
I have him going to the Orioles though for 2 years, $33 million. That might be a bit low. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 2 years, 38 even. Just because he has had some of those good years. But I think he'll have kind of one of those, option contracts.
Yeah.
Kind of a. Yeah.
I like the Orioles. That's a good fit.
Yeah.
I like the Orioles.
I mean, they need pitching. They need to do something.
I mean, he just replaces Eflin.
Yeah.
And, that's not a good trade. I mean, I think, I think Giolito's probably got a little bit more upside than someone like Eflin. But just like Eflin, Giolito, I just expect him to be 37 every time I look at his age. It just seems like he's been in the league for such a long time.
Yeah.
It just seems like he was on the White Sox forever before he finally got out of Chicago. So that's why I have him returning back to Chicago, not to the White Sox now.
Okay, I was like, what are you...
he would never go back. I have him signing with the Cubs.
Yeah.
So
I like that a lot.
Yeah, 2 years, $36 million. I don't really have much more to say about Giolito. I mean, I think he's going to be a really solid addition for whatever team ends up getting him. So yeah, I don't know. I like the Cubs.
Yeah, he's an interesting pitcher because, and his stats kind of reflect this with his inconsistency from year to year, but this was kind of the first year that he had consistency throughout the season in a long time since he's been with Chicago. But his entire career, he's kind of been a guy that either gets blown up in a start or goes 7 shutty.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I almost prefer a pitcher like that than someone who just posts like a 4.5 ERA and gives up 400 runs over 6 innings. Yeah. Because early on in the game if he is gonna, if he's on or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's
a weird guy.
He gives you a chance to win every single time he steps out on the mound. He also might be the reason you lose, but he's going to give you a chance to win every single time.
Flip.
And I think it depends on the offense you have on the other side of the club. Because I think someone, I don't know. So someone with a high-powered offense, like the Cubs showed at the beginning of the year last year, could make up for those games that he goes out there and he's not good, and he gives up a lot of runs. And then you look at other teams like my Giants historically that, he gives up 7 runs in 4 innings. Kiss the game goodbye. We're good. Pack it up. So
I actually thought he might go to the Giants.
Yeah,
and then I scratched it out. I scratched it out. I was like, I can't have another starting pitcher go to the Giants. This is ridiculous.
We don't have bullpen arms. We just sign every starting pitcher available.
There you go.
So yeah, that's Giolito. So let's bring it to a wrap with our number 21 player. We have Devin Williams. D-Will.
Is he going to bounce back? That's the big question. Is he going to find his changeup?
I think so. I think the biggest question about Williams, I think at least this offseason, is what type of deal does he take? Does he take a longer-term deal while he can get it? Or does he go the 1-year prove-it route where he just tries to prove, hey, I'm an elite closer in this league, and then just gets a crazy big contract next offseason? He's 31, I believe, so he's in a really interesting spot. And I could see it going either way. So what's your prediction for Mr. Devin Williams?
I think he gets... I was going back. I have 2 written down, either a 2-year $30 million or a 3-year $45 million. I think teams are going to overlook last year and bank on him getting his changeup back. second half of the year, he started to kind of find his stuff again and showed some value. I really like Devin Williams. I have a lot of confidence in him. I've watched him a lot over the years, and I'm just a big fan of him. What his changeup does is just insane, and it just didn't have that upward bite this year. And so, I mean, he had it for the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's crazy to think that he'll get it back and be one of the best relievers in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had fun with this one because I would love for the Mets to sign him while his value's low. So I hope we sign him to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Will we? I don't know, but fuck it. 3 years, $45 million to the Mets. Let's have fun with it. And if Diaz walks and Devin Williams slides in as our closer, I'm happy with that.
I mean, it's not a bad replacement. Yeah, I mean, I kind of had fun when I was mentioning Helsley earlier and was like, oh, yeah, Helsley to the Giants. That's a fun one that I wouldn't mind seeing as a Giants fan where, yeah, if he's bad, who cares, type of deal. So, but I also had fun with Devin Williams. I had him going to the Blue Jays on a 1-year, $18 million deal. And the Blue Jays just try to run it back next year. Same team, maybe a little bit better pitching. Mm-hmm. And, Devin Williams tries to just prove that he's an elite bullpen arm. And whether he's the setup or the closer in Toronto, he just proves he's got that stuff. Because it doesn't matter. If he goes and he does the exact same that he was with Milwaukee as a setup man in Toronto, I think he signs for a huge deal.
Yeah.
I think he just has to prove, hey, in late innings, my changeup's there.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, he just has to prove his changeup's there.
Yeah.
That he can throw it consistently throughout the season, and he's getting a huge deal. Yeah. So, I don't know. I had fun with that one. Who knows?
Yeah, I like the location for him. I mean, I do think Toronto's going to sign an elite bullpen arm. They have to. Jeff Hoffman was solid, but he's shown that he's better in the setup role. He was disgusting in the setup role when he was in Philly. And so I would not be surprised. In fact, I think Toronto should go out and get an elite bullpen arm, put them as the closer, whether it be Diaz or D-Will, move Hoffman to that setup role. I like the spot. But
what if Toronto goes out and gets Edwin Diaz and Devin Williams, and they have a Jeff Hoffman, Devin Williams, and Edwin Diaz closing bullpen?
Jesus.
With a great defense. Ooh.
Get Savage back.
Ooh, Toronto.
Shane Bieber, fully healthy.
Toronto, you have an opportunity to become a nasty, nasty team.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary. All right. Moving along to the top 20 next week. Join us next week. We'll be doing number 20 through 11. It's been fun, guys. Free agency's heating up. Let's see where everybody goes.
Till next time.
Thanks for joining. Sick ending. Just stumble fucking over my words.
Sick.